The truest chains are not forged of iron, but of incessant sound and flickering light, designed to keep us from ever truly hearing ourselves. Look around you. Observe the frantic dance, the universal reflex, a pocket companion pulled forth to banish the briefest quiet, an earbud inserted to drown the world, or worse, to drown the self. Every interstitial moment, every pause, every breath space between tasks is now filled, not with reflection, but with another jolt of stimulation, another curated distraction. We have built a civilization that abhors stillness, a culture that fears silence more than it fears its own shadow. Why? Because in the hush, the uninvited guest of self-awareness might knock. In the quiet, the carefully constructed walls begin to tremble, and a void, long ignored, whispers its name. This isn't mere boredom we are fleeing, it is the terrifying confrontation with the unadorned self, the raw, unfiltered truth of our own existence. The world offers 1,000 avenues of escape, each a well-paved road away from the narrow path of self-discovery. We are presented with an endless carnival of sensation, a constant barrage designed not to enlighten, but to occupy. To keep the mind so perpetually engaged outward that it never dares turn inward. They do not chain your hands, they chain your thoughts. Not with force, but with a ceaseless whisper of triviality, a vibrant, flashing, endlessly updating narrative that convinces you of its urgency, its necessity, its ultimate value. We seek validation in fleeting likes, distraction in endless scrolls, a manufactured sense of purpose in the outrage of the hour. All of it external, all of it fleeting, none of it truly nourishing the core. We become connoisseurs of other people's lives, spectators of mediated drama, anything to avoid starring in the challenging, unscripted play of our own inner world. The ancients understood the power of stillness. The ataraxia they sought, the tranquility, was born of confronting the inner landscape, not fleeing from it. They wrestled with their fears, their mortality, their desires, in the stark, unforgiving arena of their own minds, and emerged with something resembling peace, a fortress built from within. But we barricade ourselves with noise, with spectacle. We are like the clever prisoner who busies himself with endless, meaningless tasks, never allowing a moment for reflection, for planning an escape, for even realizing he is a prisoner. The comfort of the chains, disguised as freedom, becomes more seductive than the daunting prospect of truly breaking free. For freedom, true freedom, demands an engagement with the self, a quiet audit of one's own soul. It demands facing the uncomfortable truth that beneath the roles we play, the possessions we accumulate, the opinions we parrot, there might be a hollow space, a profound lack. And so, we choose the clamor. We choose the constant hum, the insistent ping, the glowing scream, anything to keep that terrifying silence at bay. We convince ourselves we are productive, connected, informed. But what if we are merely deafened? What if we are merely bound tighter, by the very threads of our digital tether? We trade depth for breadth, wisdom for information, true connection for fleeting interaction. The greatest tragedy is not to be imprisoned, but to fashion your own chains from the glittering fragments of the world, believing them to be freedom, and dying never having heard your own true voice.